Dignitaries on the dais, because Mr. Razdan has just left. Very prominent personalities of the dais, young friends, ladies and gentlemen. I think a lot has already been said about the conference, about its deliberations. Mr. Razdan also has spoken at length on what conference resolutions could contain. I find that every time you go through these kind of conferences, where we talk of various issues, starting from saying that coal is going to be the mainstay for energy for India for a couple of decades, to declarations at the COP21, to commitments on solar energy, and at the same time an attempt to try and see what could be the future energy scene would be like. I would say it is fashionable to talk of renewables, and therefore everybody must talk, and so must I. Renewables are to stay, yes, there is no doubt about it. But how are we looking at it? At the initial stages, if you read, if you do a simple reading of all that is said and is communicated in various press reports, it looks as if it's a replacement. If you look at more deeply, it is not a replacement. It has to go along with other, and that is why today we are talking of the appropriate mix. And we tend to predict that in 2040 we'll have so much of renewables, so much of coal, so much of it. I sometimes wonder whether we do presume that all the innovation, all the technology, etc., which is being worked at, will be confined to renewables only. There is a big area which deals with storage. There's a big area that deals with nuclear energy. A lot of experiments, a lot of efforts are continuously going on the fusion experiments. We do not know. It's perhaps maybe we're talking of today's 2017. We're talking of 13 years hence. In these 13 years, what is going to happen? And whether, suppose there is a breakthrough in storage, suppose there is a breakthrough in fusion, what would be the change in thinking? Suppose we do have a breakthrough in carbon dioxide utilization. People are working on that. Then the carbon dioxide coming out of power plants doesn't get off into the atmosphere. It is utilized. Suppose there is a method which is evolved for sequestration. We capture carbon dioxide and we are able to do it in a very, very economically and maybe very a viable way. Then what would be the thinking like? There are so many processes, so many developments, so much of research going on. It may, to my mind, may not be very easy to predict, say 15 years hence, as of date. My feeling is that we need to look at problems of today. When we talk of renewables, then we have to not only see a technological solution, but I think we have to see how that is to be managed as well. We often talk of grid management. We often talk of technological solutions for the grid management. But then we tend to forget that it is the human beings who will ultimately run it. And if you look at the Indian case, which province, which sector, which area is going to behave in which way, which will impact the grid, is sometimes very difficult to predict. We've seen maybe a couple of years ago a major breakdown in North India because one state decided to do something. So it may require a discipline which is perhaps not there today. My feeling is that in every sector of this where we are talking about, we'll keep on competing. And we should see perhaps in years to come what would be the direction. Yes, there is one thing which is happening, which is we don't know whether it will get reversed or not, is that there are various bodies that support renewables for obvious reasons. They are so much against the fossil fuels that they are affecting investment in those areas. We have the US government with the new president. We hear different voices now, a different tone altogether. We don't know whether that situation may take a little reversal or not. But as far as this country is concerned, fossil fuels cannot be wished away so easily and so quickly. And to invest in better use of fossil fuels requires money. Where is this investment going to come from is a matter of serious concern. We are not going to get bankers moving in with what we have seen happening in the past couple of years. We may not get foreign investments for pressures that are being built up through the supporters of the environmentalists and the NGOs that function to be influencing various investors in the developed world. It has to be found, therefore, for the time being, totally internally. And the government has to, therefore, chip in and find an answer. I would say to conclude is that these are all very, very difficult problems and they required intensive deliberations. It may not be and may not suit this country to announce something without actually going into the depth and knowing whether it is achievable. We should be doing serious business and be serious about the future of energy in this country. These words I would like to conclude, thanking the organizers for giving me an opportunity to speak. And the youngsters who are here, well, the best of luck to you, working in an area which is extremely exciting. And you probably look forward to what happens in these conferences. I also wish you the best of luck. Thank you.